everyone, it's Cindy. Welcome back to Studioloo. I'm here today with a fresh manicure from my 4-year-old, so 5-year-old, she's 5. And I thought I would just do a little bit of a casual kind of craft session here. Working on an idea that I've had in my brain for a little bit, and I'm probably going to start this journal next. I haven't completely decided, but yeah, I have just been working away for most of my weekend here, and I wanted to try to do a little work on this today if I can. So this is a very old frame that I got in an estate auction lot with some very early 1900s photography. This is Miss Lockwood, artist, Spark Street, Ottawa. This lovely cabinet card, and this is all natural aging. I just removed all of the broken glass that was in the frame, because the glass was broken, which for my purposes is actually totally fine, because I want to use this on the cover of a journal. And this lovely cabinet card actually just slides right in here. Let me just get it in there. It has like a little spot that it sits properly in, and that presses down. So what I'm looking to do is this, but as you can see, there's a bit of a gap. So the gap occurs because of this distance here, where the more ornate part of this frame is versus this backing area. So what my, I think, objective is going to be, I'm planning to put it on this cover. I like this dark brown cover. Now this is a book called Step by Step Guide to Photography. And it's just a book that I use for fussy cutting. There's not much really left in here, this book. So what I would like to do, I think, is actually measure this back, and then I'm going to measure evenly this rectangle here on here, and then I'm going to cut it out completely, which will then allow me to drop in this frame, inlay it in, and then the distance I will have to worry about after that won't be as dramatic. So it'll be about a little less than half that this will still stick out back here. But I have a little bit of an idea to do something on the back cover here to make this a little more interesting. So yeah, it's going to be a little bit of a process that I thought I would kind of share the beginning with, and just kind of let you know what I'm working on, because I've been not doing as many like tutorial or making type videos lately, and I want to get back into doing that. I've just been really busy, but you'll see some of the fruits of that busyness. So another thing that I just want to say that I've really noticed lately, because I've been gutting a lot of books, is I think we are doing something to ourselves as journal makers a lot of the time that is very unnecessarily painstaking. And it's about when you take the book out of the spine. I would say that probably the high 90 percentile of books you can literally just tear out of the spine, like I did with this one, and you're not going to have any issues, as opposed to the, like, you know, you stand up the book and we try to cut here and we often nick our spine. I would say most of the time, definitely with a book that's not old, you can just tear it out. It's nothing bad will happen. like practice, like you'll see, like do it on some books that you're using for other purposes. The other thing too is I have recently seen some people talking about how it's really hard to get this stuff out of a book. So for me, I use this here, this nice spine stuff. Like I have a whole basket of it over here. It's just really great for collage backgrounds. And I'm not a huge fan of the red on here, so I'm probably not going to want to keep that. But sometimes the inner page of the end paper in books is quite nice. And so I've heard a few people talk about how hard it is to kind of get larger pieces of this. And I'm not exactly sure why it's hard for people. So you know, maybe there's something I'm missing. It's quite possible. I don't know. But I just wanted to show you how easy it is to get that out. Now, maybe they're trying to keep these intact or something, which I understand. You can do that a little differently. You can just make like a simple score on either side with a very, very fine, you know, or shallow like knife if you want to. I mean, or you can just kind of guide it a little more carefully as you're tearing it up. You're going to need something on this inner spine anyways, like cheesecloth or fabric or whatever you know, some people use different tapes. You're going to need to lose a little bit of it anyhow. So yeah, but that being said, my point here is to just tear this out. It's not going to hurt anything, like, unless you have a really old falling apart book, then you might need to be a little more careful, but truly you don't need to be. So I am just going to tear away whatever comes up here. This actually came very clean, very nice. I'm not removing this spine liner. This one is in really great condition. This isn't an old book at all. I'm just using it for the purposes of using it for this large book. So that being said, now I need to measure the back of this. So let's get our ruler here, and I'm going to need a piece of paper. Okay, so this is, I'm going to do this in centimeters. It's a lot easier to get an exact measurement. This is exactly 11 and, well, yeah, 11 centimeters. So 11 centimeters wide by 16.5 tall. Okay, so now I'll just grab another piece of paper here from my scrappy book. We'll set our book aside for a moment. I'm going to be cutting the spine out of it probably anyways. I have a feeling I'm going to want to make a bit of a bigger spine for this book. I mean, it's a really big book, so yeah, I'll need to see how big I'm going to go with it. I don't know. Alright, so let's make some marks on this paper and then cut it. So let's start at the top here. And I said, oops, go back to centimeters. There we go. So I said that the width was 11 centimeters. Paper trimmer. I need to change the blade in my other paper trimmer, which is why I'm not using it at the moment. Oh, you know what I just thought of? I shouldn't use that edge. This is the yucky edge of the book. Let's just do this again. Okay. Hold on. How can I? I'm trying to do this so you can see, but I can also see. Okay. Okay, that part's done, and then 17 this way. Sorry if I get the top of my head in frame here, that might happen just because I need to be real close. Okay, 17 is right here. Okay. Here is our template. Now let's get an idea of how this is going to be. So I think I can trim it a little more, maybe top to bottom, but I have to be careful because Right now it looks like it's actually, it needs to be a slight bit wider. This is not straight. That's what I didn't account for. So it looks like it's slightly too tall as well. Too tall and not wide enough. Now, why would that happen? Because this is an old distorted frame and it's not straight and it's kind of concave, convex in different places. But that being said, so we're a little too tall and we're not wide enough. Okay. That's fine. I'm still going to use this as the template, and I'm just going to remember, you know, there's about this much too tall, and also the same not wide enough. Now, this doesn't have to be exact, because the main goal here is to just have I don't want it to be super too big, but if it's slightly too tall, it's not really going to do anything. But if it's not big enough, then it's not going to fit. So then I'm going to be looking at having to go back and hack away at the hole, which I'm not looking to have to do, because that will be a pain. So the next stage here is to, let's see how wide this is. Okay, so 8 3/4 inches, and in centimeters we're just almost 21.5. So let's say 11. Yeah, okay. Yeah, okay. You know what? I'm just gonna see about eyeballing it. Like, sometimes I can overcomplicate things and I don't need to. Like, I like how that looks. I think it's got good distance on these two sides. And then the top, I want the bottom to have a little more room. Actually, no, wait, I can't do it that way, because see, the top is very, very high. So here's the important stage. I need this whole thing to fit on here. So this is actually the deciding factor of where on the book this can go. So where is the bottom of this? Right there. Let's just put this underneath. You know what I'm going to do? Maybe, I don't know if I can get this to stick just with, no. Let's just go like a little bit of glue and we'll stick it on here. Let's see if that helps me to kind of, and then a lot of glue on the other side. Once we get it in position here, then I will be able to kind of glue it where we want it. Okay, that's a good generalization. Right there. Okay. So if it's here, that means it's going to fit. Okay. Stressful. All right. However, like, not reason to freak out or anything. I have a lot of books. So even if I destroy this one, it's not a big deal. I actually didn't even save or intend to use this cover from this book, because it was nothing terribly special. I was like, oh, you know, and then I saw it with the frame laying on it, and it was the right size, and then, yep. So I'm just going to take my pencil now and trace my frame. I had so much drama this week. Well, not really drama, but like, for me, drama. I totally lost my paper piercer. I have no clue where it went. It must have ended up in my recycle bin here, because it just went missing. And I'm telling you, that is a tool that is really hard to go without in this hobby that I have, because yeah, I had 2 journals that I needed to sew the signatures in, and do the binding, and like I ended up having to do it with a darning needle, which was less than fun. So I just bought like a 10 pack of paper piercers because I am really extra when it comes to like, all right, I lost it, now I can never lose it again. Like, so yeah, that's the way it goes. Okay, so we're traced on there, and I'll take this off. And then I think, do I have baby wipes? Yeah, I do. Oh, sorry for the reach. Of course, they're 50 miles away. I'm sorry, I keep showing you this ugly bruise on my arm. It's almost gone. It's from the dearest phlebotomist at our local lab. I just had to have like normal blood work the other day, and I forgot to drink water in the morning. Oh, FYI, when you use a baby wipe on a book cover, it will remove the inking on the book cover. So that can be a good or a bad thing depending on what you're doing. But if you're trying to clean a book and you're really like, you know, worried about damaging the cover, be very careful with using a baby wipe. I don't care because I'm cutting this off, but now I just need a dry towel. I'm just going to use this fabric. A little bit of fabric hanging about, that doesn't matter. Okay, so anyways, yeah, the phlebotomist had a very hard time finding my baby veins, and I always feel so bad because that's just a conundrum that I live with all the time with baby veins. So I think what I want to do, because I need to decide, I guess, if I'm putting a new spine in this book or not. I mean, the spine is a decent size, but it's not enormous. But who's to say that all my journals need to always be enormous? It is just under an inch. I need to think about this. Am I going to want this to be really big? I mean, it's already a really big book, so maybe it doesn't need to have a massive spine. Because like it would be more easy to cut this taking the book apart probably, but I could still do it together. How much paper could I fit in here? You know, I think with ephemera, I'm just going to need a bigger spine. So let me get my glass here. This awesome piece of glass, I found this at the Dollar Tree, or no, the Dollarama store for like $4. It's like kit and caboodle. It's got all your measurements. I mean, I have about a million of these, and I don't use, I have the big black Tim Holtz one, but I don't use them when I'm filming because I have this overhead light, and it drops glare on everything. So until I set up like a multifocal like lighting system that's a little bit different than what I have now, which is a little challenging in the space that I'm using at the moment. I can't wait to move and have more natural daylight in my studio. Yeah, it's a little complex for right now. So decision made, we are going to take this book out of its spine and do a new spine. I'm just going to line up my ruler here to just kind of help me and make sure I don't gouge. I shouldn't be cutting toward myself, I know. I'm very careful though. I have not managed to cut myself in half yet. I also don't know how I would cut away from myself. This would be very awkward, and I probably would end up injuring someone doing that. Okay. No, wrong spot. Alright, so we use this as my guide for my new spine. Always put your blade away. It will give me the length that I'm going to need for my new spine. So I will keep this handy. Okay. So this is the back cover. I'll just set that aside for a bit. We don't need it right now. Okay, so now the fun begins. We have to cut this. and we have to be brave and just cut it. And hopefully we get what we want here. I could score this maybe on my paper trimmer, but I don't think I need to worry so much about it. The most important thing right now is keeping your ruler still. And then just, continually going over it several times until you're feeling the blade gliding on glass rather than still scraping through the book. Getting a little closer. I'm not all the way through yet, but I'm going to move on to another side. The hardest part of this is just that it can be a little taxing on the hands because you've really got to press your ruler down. I think I might need to snip another blade off of this soon to have a sharper one. I always hate doing that though. It's really creepy to break those off. It's like you use one of these tools to do this. Let's see if I can do it right now. Wear safety glasses when you're doing this. Okay, there we go. We got it. Now, I'm just going to put some tape on here. Okay. And I will put that in the Sharps Recycling. I have some special Sharps Recycling that I will put that in. Okay, now I think, yeah, it's clean. Yay, okay. These are the things that I should not do on camera because they can go totally off and not work. Oops, hold on. Everything's still tight? Not wiggly? No, okay, we're good. Oh, I'm cutting backwards. I'm like, why does this feel weird? Sorry. Oh, that's so much sharper. Yay. Okay, I think that's good there. I also just wanted to say thank you to everyone who left me such kind comments about my yarn parade video. I do want to try to do a little bit more yarn content if I can here. But I have so many things on the go. I'm actually behind on a lot of projects that I'm trying to do. Like I'm trying to do that 1 button a week challenge, and I am several weeks behind on it. I feel so bad, but it's just one of those things, like you've got to do what you're feeling and you gotta just kind of go with it. And I'm also a little behind on the Roxy Creations stitch along that I'm doing the journey of stitching, because on my April block, I decided I wanted to do a bunch of long and short stitch to fill in a large part of my block, and it's just a little time consuming. Once I get that done though, I'm going to be pretty close to done, and I'm going to try to work on that a little bit. But my tasks for the rest of today mainly involves spinning yarn. But I wanted to take a little break just to work on this. And I will have 2 journal videos for tomorrow for my design team project. And I hope you will like those. Also, if you saw my video about the journal, The Lady of Discovery and Exploration, I accidentally, when you upload to YouTube, you have the option to sort of reuse the template of your last, like one of your last videos, to make it easier to not have to enter all the info again. And I accidentally uploaded it with the description that it was already sold. That one is actually not yet sold. If you're interested in it, it is in my Etsy shop. Just letting you know in case you were like, oh darn, because that's happened a couple times. There's so many steps when I'm trying to like both launch a video and launch a video and launch an Etsy listing at the same time, because I'm trying not to like launch the video, or sorry, my camera just decided to turn off as I was saying. I try not to launch the Etsy listing without the flip through video being posted, and then I have to kind of go back and join up all those steps and make sure everything is aligned. Okay, just be careful here. This is where I will not cut toward myself because I wouldn't want to sort of spring back. And there we go. Okay, and then we got to just go in the back here. I find just scoring the lines from the back is a really good way to cut through paper this way, like this thicker kind of cardstock, because or bookboard, because sometimes it's literally just the paper on the inside is just holding on by a little tiny bit, but it can be really hard to cut from the other side. So theoretically we should be able to push this through now. Yep. And I decided to push it through rather than out because I wouldn't want to mess up the delicate, beautiful balance of this book cloth. Then we have this, which we could probably use for something later. Maybe even as part of my structure for this book. Alright, let's see if it works. Okay. Okay, I forgot to remember that we were a little tall and not wide enough. Yeah, so I'm gonna have to, I think, get a little wider, but that's okay. You know what, I think we're almost there. And actually I'm glad I didn't go too big on this, because I don't think we are not wide enough. I think the issue is mainly just that it's not the same width all the way down. So actually that has pressed in, I think. Are we all the way in? Just right there, I think. Yeah, okay. Okay. I'm just going to use the end of my plier and just kind of smoosh around here. And actually, I'm glad I left a little extra space on top as well, because then if I want to slide the cabinet card out, which I probably won't, but I will be able to if I want, which I may or may not retain the structure anyways, because I might cover this whole thing up. Oh, we're too tall because the top's coming up. Okay, so I do need to add a bit to this. I think I'm going to take this out because it's kind of visually difficult to look at. Okay, so that's too high. I think I need to start again. Yep, I do. Bummers. Oh, did I put this upside down? I did. Oh God, why am I like this? Were you on the other side screaming? Were you just like, what? Cindy, what are you doing? Oh my goodness. Okay, let's just see how this is gonna go now. Yeah, it's definitely so crooked, this thing. You know, it's from the 1800s. It's bound to be a little wonky. Yeah, I'm gonna have to carve out more of this book, I think. Just a tiny sliver. It's just this right here that's too fat, too wide for this spot. The bottom. Yeah. But I almost want to see if I can just bend the book. See, because the top, it's fitting. It's just the bottom that's crappy with me here. There we go. Just run this here. There we go. Alright, now we're jammed in there. Okay. Now hopefully it won't pop out. Yay! Yes! Okay. That is going to be really cool. So then I'm going to have to clearly like affix the metal down. Yeah, and I'm probably going to cut a little bit more away just so it's not squeezing this too much. But that's what I'll do for now. I will not keep you here as I hack away at this. But what I'm going to do is just maybe like, I don't know, a centimeter here, and then I may even give it a little more length. I'll evaluate that afterward. I may not need to though, but it definitely needs a little bit more width. The other option that I may end up doing, and actually what I was planning to do initially before I thought of this window pop-in, like I wanted to affix this to the front of the book, but I didn't want these to kind of get damaged, and I didn't want them to be sharp when you would pick up the book. Like, they're not outrageously sharp, but I mean, they could be if you handled it the wrong way. So I was thinking of using Sculpey, and I would be painting it after, you know, I'd bake it on, and then I would be able to affix the whole thing down. So yeah, I'm just kind of brainstorming still how I want to do this. So this may or may not work, but I thought I would just take you along on this little adventure so I could show you what I'm working on here with the lovely Miss Lockwood. Because yeah, this is a fun project, and I think that she's wearing her morning clothes, right? So I'm probably going to make this one of the journals that I'll be making about death and mourning. I've got some really great ephemera and stuff in that topic. So anyways, that's it for me for today. If you want a 5-year-old manicure, I can hook you up. And until next time, I hope you're having a lovely day. Bye for now. Okay, P.S. I felt bad dropping off the video because within 5 seconds I actually resolved this. So I wanted to show you. So I did hack away a little bit more on this side. I just took a little bit more off to see how it would fit. And now it fits beautifully. So I've got a little extra space at the top here. So look how it sits on the book. Isn't that lovely? So I'm going to have it seated, I think, like right here. Now, even if there's a little bit of gap, like if I end up having to position it differently, that's fine, because there's going to be something covering the back anyways once it's all attached. And what I'm trying to decide is if I'll want to keep a spot on the back open so that we can remove this. I don't think I do. I think I want it to be permanently like fixed in there probably, but we'll see. I think it will make things easier to keep it, you know, in place, and I think she just kind of belongs there anyways. And I'll probably want to attach her down because I won't want it slipping down this way. I don't think it will look as nice as being specifically in place under the little pin on the back of here that goes into the hole on the cabinet card. So yeah, that being said, I think this is going to be a really fun project, and I am getting a lot of ideas about how to make this cover even more cool. So there we go. It's in and it fits, and I no longer have to squeeze it and make it fit. It is no longer skinny jeans. It fits beautifully. So Okay, that's it. I just wanted to give you the little, hey, we did it PS. Thanks again. Bye.